This is a video that I have briefly, I guess you could say was briefly on my mind uh, over the last couple of days, especially this morning when I was on my way to and from the gym. Like, a lot of times, a lot of the thoughts come to me when I'm at the gym or on my way there when it comes to like a freestyle video. When I call it a freestyle video, I'm talking about one that is not a topic that has been sent to me by my subscribers. Is one of those ones that allows my mind to just roam free, and it usually drives home to a strong point. In this video, I'm going to talk about these trinkets that a lot of these racists, and this could be anybody. I'm not limited this just to white people. This could be from the Asian to the quote unquote Hispanic. Hell, even the coons can get this work too. So this is more of a video dedication to them. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's something I've noticed on social media. Like I tell you, I get a lot of draw from Twitter. A lot of people say they don't like Twitter. I get a lot of information from Twitter to do these kinds of videos. But something I've noticed over the last couple of years is that a lot of people who are non-black, we're just going to put it like this, who are non-black, love to say that black people should be appreciative of the things that other people have done for them and stop being so I guess you could say hateful in their eyes, or stop crying racism. I'll give you the perfect example. That perfect example being former President Barack Obama. Now, as we all know, he was the first quote unquote black president, elected in 2008, re-elected in 2012. You have these non-black people who will sit in front of a computer or to your face, if they're that bold, and tell you that racism does not exist because we have or had a black president. They will also be the same ones to peddle Dr. King every chance they get. They say, well, Dr. King has a holiday, so there is no racism. You have Black History Month, so there is no racism. And then turn right around and say, well, we gave you those things. We gave you Barack Obama. We gave you Dr. King a holiday. We gave you Black History. Well, first off, no, you didn't give us Black History Month. So you got to stop him right there, because Black History Month was founded by a black man. And another one, they'll say, oh, we gave you the NAACP. That would be a better one, seeing as how the NAACP was pretty much founded by white people. Or we gave you Black Lives Matter, even though most of them hate Black Lives Matter and George Soros. So they love to hand out these trinkets to try to absorb themselves of said racism. And they do that because they feel that if they can throw that in your face, they can get away with anything in pertaining to you. But then turn right around and do some racist shit, underhanded and shady at the same time. I see right through them as if they were clear glass. And I'm sure most of you feel the same exact way. And that's that ego talking. They feel that they can say and do anything to us because they feel that they have a power control or a power hold on you. And then it's bad enough that you got the coons that will side right along with them and say that they did this for us and that for us. Or I'll give you another perfect example, and this just happened. Abraham Lincoln in the Emancipation Proclamation, talking about, well, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, so there is no racism. Or they'll use the racism thing and say, well, I didn't own any slaves, but your ancestors did, and you benefit from slavery. Look at how many businesses that are around, Fortune 500 companies. There was a list that came out, I think, on Atlanta Black Star a few years ago, talking about like the 10 top businesses in the establishment that all benefited off of slavery. Banks being like in the top 5. A variety of different banks like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and a host of others benefited off of slavery, especially JP Morgan. I remember JP Morgan being right in the smack dab of that list when I first saw it. So they love to say that they gave us everything, but the thing is, a lot of the stuff that they have was off of black slave labor. Hell, they had to purchase black bodies in order to do their work. And then they have the nerve to sit up there and say that we didn't build this establishment when we did. We had a huge hand in that and still didn't get our 40 acres and our mule. But guess what? When we got off the plantation, after we were so-called free, we decided to start doing for ourselves, and they couldn't handle that. So what did they do? They destroyed it. They sabotaged and destroyed it. The only thing I hate is that we didn't have a military to defense to keep that stuff up. But who knows? They could have been working on a military, but we'll never know because it's gone. And I think a lot of black people today, and I'm going to be completely honest, are scared to do something like that again because they know the history of this colonizer. And then it's not just the colonizer we have to deal with. Like I said, we got to deal with other people, the co-colonizers. So it's like we're getting hit at every angle. If we even make one right move, here they come and they'll make the wrong move, and then everything is gone. It's shot straight to hell. I know I see a lot of people say we got to separate. But do you really know what it means to be completely separated from a system? Like completely exile yourself from them. You have to have, first, of course, financials. And it's not in any particular order. You need a political structure. You need a set of laws or a code of conduct. Something that black people refuse a lot as a collective to do. That right there. If you don't even do that, you might as well not even try to separate. Because you got to now pick out who is going to be a part of your tribe, so to speak. And that's going to be hard because you have people that look like you that are going to go against you. They'll be the ones to tear it down. Look at what happened in the movie Birth of a Nation. When Nat Turner and the other slaves were trying to get free, and you had that little coon-ass boy ran and told massa and ruined their plan. They could have got away. They could have went to other plantations and really led a revolt, and that would have been a real good story to tell. Not saying that the story to tell wasn't good enough already, but this one would have been one to pass down for generations. So those are the people that you have to really, really look out for. And of course, you have to have a military because you need to protect your investment. And then you have to make sure that you completely and utterly separate from everything the establishment has already put in place. And I do mean everything. That means any kind of money you get cannot come from them. Any kind of military cannot be trained by them. Any kind of laws cannot be their laws. And a host of other things has to be 100% ours. Not 99.9%, but 100% has to be ours. And only then can they say, or can they not say that we didn't give that to them, or we can come back and say you didn't give this to us. Do you know how many black business, I would say, or black inventions got stolen by them because of that damn patent office? That's the only thing they ever created, the patent office, because that was their way of legally stealing black people's inventions. And not just black people, but we're going to stick with us because that's who I'm talking about. And then you go for years and learn later on down the line, like for example, with that Jim Beam, I'm sorry, the whiskey. For years, we thought that was created by a white man, only to find out a couple years ago it was indeed created by a black slave. But because he was a slave and a slave could not own anything, the white slave owner took credit for it. So for years, the colonizer has been drinking a black invention, and they still won't give it credit. And it's like a whole bunch of other things that black people created. But they give us these little trinkets here and there that, you know, that they feel they've given us and expect us to just be okay with that. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And it's not how it should work. And we should not have to accept it. But when I see comments like that, that stuff literally rubs me the wrong way when I see stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but it pisses me off. It really does. And I know I shouldn't get upset or anything like that, but it makes me mad because of the straight up arrogance And then, like I said, you have other people who feed into it as well. Like they have their little cheerleaders sitting right there on the sideline cheering them on. And then you're left out there by yourself to fend for yourself to try to uh, deal with their bullshit. That's why I have gotten into the ways of no longer white splaining the thing. No longer will I have to, or should I white splain how black people build this establishment. No more should I have to white splain about how they benefit from racism even though they didn't own slaves. But let's be real here. If they brought back slavery today and they said, we'll give you $2 million and all this acres of land if you bring us 30 black people to be your slaves, they will go out there and they'll probably come back with 100. You don't think, really think about that. They probably would. And it's probably going to be your quote unquote white friend that'll probably do it to you. So that I can see why a lot of people say, I don't have a lot of white people around me. Because guess what? If they was to bring back slavery, guess what? Black friend, their one and only black friend, you're going to be up first on the chopping block. Or should I say the auction block? That's really all I have to say about this. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.